Chapter 245. Who is stronger? At the same time, Kangchon, Brahma Heart, and Little Gold all opened their eyes, and a stern divine aura shot out from their eyes, instantly sensing the arrival of these black shadows. Boom, boom, boom. A series of explosions rang out violently. Kangchon's 3 people, all coincidentally, suffered from the attacks of these black shadows. Their strength was incomparably powerful, surprisingly. Every one of them was a peak Imperial level powerhouse. Dozens of people joining hands, even quasi-invincible powerhouses, would find it difficult to easily withstand them. Where are the curmudgeons? Brahma Heart shouted. The dozens of black shadows clearly came from the same place. They worked together in perfect coordination, combining 3 sword formations to envelop the 3 Kangchon, exerting a power comparable to the full force of a quasi-invincible powerhouse. This was a certain assassination. The other party was obviously fully prepared. If Kangchon's 3 people were not invincible powerhouses, I'm afraid that even if they didn't die, they would have to be severely injured. The continuous sound alarmed the entire restaurant. Countless cultivators from among the houses came out, full of vigilance, scanning the surrounding. In seeing the enemy is not aimed at them. Relieved, then hold interest in the distance to watch the battle. What kind of people are these? How dare they assassinate in the City of Heaven? Don't they know that fighting is forbidden in the City of Heaven? If the 7 heroes of the City of Heaven knew about this, none of these people would survive. No one dares to break the law set by the 7 invincible powerhouses. These people wouldn't be unaware of it. They are bound to have the backbone. These people are all peak Imperial level powerhouses. To have such men, the backers behind them are by no means as simple as quasi-invincible powerhouses. There was a lot of talk amongst the crowd watching the battle. Many seemed to have guessed something, but they didn't dare to blatantly reveal it. They only held sympathetic gazes towards the Kangchon trio. Rumble. A series of battles erupted. The surrounding houses all collapsed, and the entire restaurant became a ruin. Roar. A furious roar came out, and then people saw a huge golden-colored giant ape rushing up into the sky. And with a single punch, it blasted the several black shadows that surrounded him into a bloody mist. Obviously, Little Gold was enraged, and he couldn't help but erupt with the power of a peerless powerhouse. Of course, those watching the battle outside only thought that Little Jin was a powerful quasi-invincible powerhouse, and didn't think towards the invincible realm. After all, invincible powerhouses were very rare, and there were only 7 of them in the entire heavenly city at the moment. Pfft. Blood spattered, Brahma Heart chanted the Buddha's name and killed out from the ruins. He was full of compassion. But he took 1 step and 1 corpse. All the black shadows that surrounded him all died tragically. It was the first time the crowd had seen such a powerful monk. Everyone was extremely surprised. Swish. A purple eye light from the darkness came out. The pale sky domineering came. Where it passed, blood and flesh flew. All the black shadows all perished. There was no one alive. The group of people watching the battle from afar are shocked. Who were these 3 people? Surprisingly, they were this powerful. They were definitely strong amongst the quasi-invincible. Many people were shocked as they looked at Kangchon's trio. Although the battle ended very quickly, and they didn't see Kangchon's trio go all out, but to be able to easily kill dozens of peak Emperor level powerhouses, this kind of strength was enough to shock a party. This is a very strong combination. It's hard to find an enemy under invincibility. What kind of person dares to provoke them? The crowd speculated in their hearts. Who disregards the king's law and dares to make a move in the City of Heaven? A cold shout exploded in the sky, and in the darkness of the night, a dozen soldiers wearing black armor rushed in, their eyes glaring and murderous. Each and every one of them was clearly extraordinary. It's the Black Armor Army, someone in the crowd exclaimed. When the 7 invincible powerhouses made the laws of Heavenly City, there were many strong people who defected, and they formed the Black Armor Army to maintain the majesty of Heavenly City. Of course, to put it bluntly, these Black Armor Army were nothing more than the officials and soldiers of the City of Heaven, belonging to the group of people who held the law, and no other cultivators dared to offend them. Dare to kill people in the City of Heaven. Why don't you and the others tie your hands and surrender, or else you will be killed on pain of death? The leader was a quasi-invincible powerhouse. He faintly scanned the corpses at the feet of Kang Chon's trio, then coldly said, "Boom." A dozen black-armored soldiers stepped forward, their eyes glowing with a murderous aura, their stern eyes gazing coldly at Kang Chon's trio, their long spears in their hands pointing at them at the same time with a brushing sound. The crowd watching the battle were puzzled. How did this group of black-armored soldiers pursue the responsibility of Kang Chon's 3 people? Didn't they know that the group of black-clothed people who were killed were the culprits? Xiao Jing was even more furious. He yelled at the leader, "What kind of eyes are you looking at? They were the ones who came to assassinate us first. You guys don't check their details. How dare you turn around and accuse us?" Brahma Heart frowned, also looking at this group of suddenly arriving black-armored army with suspicion. On the side, Kang Chon's expression was cold. His eyes flickered. He felt that this group of black-armored army came to coincidentally. Those black-clothed men had just been killed not a moment ago, and they rushed here. Moreover, the other party didn't ask anything at all and directly convicted them of their crimes. It was obvious that they had already agreed on this. As expected, when the leader heard Xiao Jin's angry roar, a look of disdain flashed in his eyes as he coldly drank. Pure sophistry. Who can prove it? After he said that, he swept around the audience people, but there was actually no one who dared to come up and testify for the Kang Chon trio. Yue Xiao Jing was furious. He wasn't an idiot. Seeing this situation, he obviously knew that the other party was clearly trying to deal with them. Maybe those black-clothed people were sent by them. Brahma Heart was also gloomy. He knew that behind these black-armored troops were the 7 invincible powerhouses. Could it be that their identities had been discovered, and the 7 invincible powerhouses were going to join forces to deal with them? Kang Chon was also very curious as he swept his eyes sternly at this group of black-armored army. For a moment, he didn't know where exactly the 3 of them had provoked these people. This group of black-armored soldiers were all strong trialists. All of them were at the peak of the Imperial Grade realm, and the one at the head was even a quasi-invincible powerhouse. And they were currently surrounding Kang Chon's 3 people, their ice-gold lances pointing remotely, transmitting an eerie murderous aura. Quickly bind your hands and surrender. Considering that it's your first offense, we can let you suffer a little less. The soldier head of the leader drank coldly, the bronze ancient spear in his hand. His whole body's chi and blood boiling. His might was unrivaled. The surrounding crowd was silent. They weren't retarded, even if they were stupid. They could see that this group of black-armored soldiers were specifically targeting the Kang Chon trio. They didn't dare to come out and testify, because in this city of heaven, the black-armored army was the king's law. Damn it! Xiao Jing glared angrily, his fists squeezing and crunching. He waited for Kang Chon's order to blast this group of black-armored army. Being insulted and belittled like this was the first time he had encountered it, and the anger in his heart had long since rushed up to the 9 heavens. Amitabh Buddha, scholar, your words have made the little monk on fire. Brahma Heart chanted the Buddha's name, his eyes blazing. Being able to make a Buddhist cultivator like him say such words, the anger in his heart could be imagined. It had to be said that this group of black-armored troops were very arrogant, cocky and domineering, directly identifying Kang Chon's trio as murderers. And in the name of righteousness, they wanted to capture Kang Chon's trio one fell swoop. Pressing people with strength could make people's hearts happy and convinced. After all, the strong are honored. But to use power to suppress people, that makes people angry, because this is a fox, tiger and dog fighting for the power of others. The group of black-armored soldiers in front of him was like this. They borrowed the righteousness of the king's law. with a righteous attitude, coldly looking down on Kang Chon. Three people, really infuriating. Even Kang Chon, who had always been indifferent, had icy killing intent shooting out from his eyes, a bone, chilling aura emanating from his body, enveloping the entire space. Seemingly sensing this morose murderous aura, the black armored soldiers were instantly on guard, as they each looked at Kang Chon's trio with grave eyes, a murderous aura filling the air. I advise you guys to tie your hands. Daring to resist arrest is an added offense. There is absolutely no way to die, the leader of the soldiers said in a cold voice, his eyes blazing. A quasi-invincible aura had already erupted long ago, firmly locking onto Kang Chon's trio. From the corpses of those black-clothed men at Kang Chon's feet, it could be seen that their strength was very powerful. So the crowd of black-armored soldiers didn't dare to underestimate them. They revealed their powerful aura, gripping the long spears in their hands tightly, each of their eyes glaring with a fierce light. Yes, I'd like to see who can take my life, Kang Chon sneered. Boom. Before the voice fell, Kang Chon's figure disappeared. He was like a sharp arrow ******* out. His speed was faster than lightning, leaving a trail of stumps in midair, and he blasted out a fist towards the head of that leader soldier. With a snort, his fist blasted through the soldier head's chest penetration, and blood and flesh immediately flew. The soldier head roared sadly to the sky, blood spurting wildly as he stared wide-eyed. His eyes filled with despair as he planted himself straight to the ground. Hiss! Everyone sucked in a mouthful of cool air. The surroundings were silent. Kang Chon's dominance and strength subdued everyone. One must know that that was a quasi-invincible powerhouse, and it was also a soldier head of the Black Armor Army, with an extraordinary status, second only to invincible powerhouses. No one had expected that Kang Chon would just kill this person in such a strong manner. Whether it was his strength or his domineering aura, it made people tremble. The crowd exclaimed in shock. This was an absolute ruthless person. It seems that the city of heaven is going to set off a bloody storm. The entire street was terrifyingly quiet for a while. Even those black armored soldiers were frozen in shock. They seemed to have never expected Kang Chon to suddenly strike and kill their leader so quickly. Kang Chon looked indifferent, his purple robe hunting and dancing in the wind, radiating an extraordinary aura. Brother, this group of trash don't need you to do anything. Leave it to me. Xiao Jin had already been furious. At this moment, seeing Kang Chon strike, there were no more scruples in his heart. Amitabha Buddha, Brahma Heart also stepped forward, his eyes radiant. The three of them were like three monuments, standing on the long street, looking at them proudly and coldly, subduing everyone. Everyone's colors changed. What kind of gods were these three? Not only were they powerful, even their aura was truly extraordinary. Definitely something big, not simple. The faces of the crowd of black-armored soldiers were gloomy, their eyes trembling. The strength of Kang Chon's trio had indeed subdued them, making them not dare to make a move. Although the battle didn't break out, the atmosphere in the field was very grave. The surrounding crowd all closed their breaths and looked at the place with unblinking eyes. How dare you kill the soldier head? Lord Changkong will definitely not let you go. Half a dozen times, a soldier coldly shouted, and the other soldiers also chided as they raised the peerless powerhouse behind them. Changkong Ji, one of the 7 heroes of Heavenly City, one of the 7 invincible powerhouses of the City of Heaven. No one knew about him, and he shook the entire City of Heaven with might. The Kang Chon trio smiled coldly at his words. They naturally knew about the 7 heroes of Heavenly City. Those were the 7 invincible powerhouses of Heavenly City, and the current supreme ruler of Heavenly City, holding the power of life and death of Heavenly City. However, this was nothing to them, as the 3 of them were also peerless powerhouses, and were even more powerful than the 7 heroes of Heavenly City. If it was really that Changkongji who was looking for trouble from them, then he had definitely kicked the iron plate this time. No matter how strong you guys are, in front of Lord Changkong, you're just a bunch of dirtbags." Seeing Kang Chon's trio sneering, this group of black armored soldiers were completely enraged as they shouted angrily, "Cut the crap, be sensible and get lost quickly, or else you won't leave," Xiao Jun bellowed. "Long Kongji is just that. The little monk is looking forward to fighting him," Brahma Heart said in a cold voice. Kang Chon was silent, only that disdainful gaze had revealed everything. His face was full of arrogance, his expression was cold, and he did not place that Chang Kongji in his eyes at all.